You want to franchise your in-person membership business? I'm going to show you how I found my first 3 franchisees. So at time of recording this, we have 18 franchisees out running around 130 locations in our business. We turned over $2.5 million last year. We have around 2,500 members and we are expanding and growing rapidly this year. But here's how it all started. Here's the 4 simple steps of how I actually got my first franchisees. Firstly, which isn't one of the steps, I just made a decision that I wanted to franchise my business, which of course you have to make that decision first. And the reason I decided I wanted to franchise is because I just had this idea that, well, if I bring someone in as a franchisee, then I get someone who's very business minded. They're going to build business with me, be like a partner in the business rather than an employee stroke team member. Nothing wrong with that model. I just kind of liked the idea of these people being fully invested financially and committed at the same sort of level I am in the business. They want to build it as passionately as I do. And I love the idea of working with people like that, and it served us great. So here's the 4 steps I went through. Number 1, you gotta build something that is actually franchisable. And here's what makes it franchisable in its really simple format. So I think when people think of franchising, whenever anyone asks me how we've done it, I often kind of laugh before I answer the question because I think, well, I just kind of did it by the seat of my pants. I didn't have much in the way of a beautiful, perfect structure. I just kind of took each step I needed to take and got on with it. And people often overthink it and put too much detail and too much analysis into what it has to look like. You just have to have a business that is repeatable and be able to convey that and educate and coach someone on doing the same. That's the first step. And it's an obvious step, but it's an important one. I see people sometimes wanting to go and sell instructor programs or franchises, but they've got no infrastructure to actually give the person. And quite frankly, I think that's immoral. So don't be that douche. Be the person who actually knows how they built their business, has just really simply documented it. Go use ChatGPT or any other tool to document it. It's dead easy. Once you've done that, you've now got something that's franchisable. Step number 2, really simple. Now you create a franchise agreement. Again, please don't overthink it. I found a company, I'm based in the UK. I found a UK franchising company. If I remembered the name of it, I would give it to you. I can't remember. Sorry to the guy that sold me that. And I paid them about £2,500, $3,000, something like that. And as part of the package with them, I just got a franchise agreement, a UK legally structured franchise agreement that they'd had drawn up by their solicitors. And I used that, and I've adjusted bits of it through the years, but we still use that to this day. So don't overthink it. AI is perfectly capable at this point in time of creating a document. Of course, I'd recommend have a solicitor look at it, a specialist, but it's not rocket science. Don't overthink it. Just get some sort of franchise agreement as long as it's correct to the law of your country and protects both parties in the way it needs to. Golden, ready to go. The third step in the process then is you just need to find people who know you, like you, and trust you and your classes and your brand. Now, there's 2 ways to find those people. Number 1 is you can go down the marketing route. You can place Facebook ads, YouTube ads, whatever you want to do, and you can market for people to come and inquire to buy a franchise from you. I know statistically that at best you'll get 1 in 100, so you'll need about 100 inquiries to do 1 sale. More often 150, 200 are the stats in the UK currently. So just be aware, if you're going to play that game, it's a lot to figure out. Personally, I went down route number 2, which was I went to my current students and had conversations with them. And here's why I love it. Because they already love the culture. They love the brand. I've got a personal relationship with them. I know them already. I've seen them in action for a period of time. Like I've seen if they've got bad habits, poor work ethic, they're unreliable. I've seen all that stuff show up if it's there. And so I've got to know them. I've got to trust them. I've got to like them. We have a connection. They love the brand. It's changed their life in some way. They're just beautifully placed to come on board as franchisees in your business. But often when I find people talk about franchising, they always go to this model. Let's market to the outside world. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. I can't tell you how to do it because I've not done that model. This model I can tell you how to do, and I love it. Because if you're running a club at the moment and you've got 200 members, let's say you've got 150 kids training in your classes and you've got 50 adults. So you've got 50 adults that could potentially buy a franchise from you and might want to. And then you've got 150 kids, most of them will have a couple of parents, so you've probably got like 250 parents hanging out who could buy a franchise from you. Let that sink in for a minute. It's wild, isn't it? I always walk my clients through this if they like the idea of wanting to franchise their business. I always coach them on this, and their mind's always blown every time I walk them through how many potential customers that already know them, already like them, already trust them, already get their values and their culture and are totally ingrained in it and love it. It's magic. And that brings us into step 4, which is to create a really simple, friendly process and presentation to sell the idea of franchising to your members, or indeed to the outside world if you're going to go down that route. And we do it via a Zoom. We market out to our students about the opportunity. We put posts in the Facebook group, and we send emails and messages out. And if I was in class still, I'd be talking to people in class about it, of course. If you're in your classes, go talk to the members, talk to the parents on the side about the opportunity. And then we run an hour-long Zoom presentation where we bring people who are interested, we qualify them a little bit first, we bring them in, they sit and watch a Zoom, and we just break down the whole basic overview of the model, like how much the franchise is going to cost them, how their area works, what they get to do with it, what they can expect in income, all the different ways they earn as a franchisee. And then thereafter, the ones that are interested in pursuing the conversation after the Zoom, we then have a one-to-one interview with them. And just through a real simple process like that. That's kind of it. There's not much else that happens. That's it in a nutshell, really simple. And my first 3 franchisees came in exactly that way. My very first franchisee, darling Emma, who's been with me since day dot. She joined us as a student when we launched our very first ladies kickboxing class 7 years ago. She was one of the first ladies on our instructor training program about 6 months after that. And then about another 6 to 12 months after that, right when lockdown hit, I decided to create this franchise opportunity. I thought Emma was just perfect for it. I loved her. She was an amazing instructor, amazing part of our business. And Emma came on board and was our very first committed, courageous franchisee. And then we brought the next 2 in the same manner, and we've now grown to 18 franchisees and expanding from here. So if you want to franchise, and I'm assuming maybe it's interest to you if you've watched the video this far, if you want to franchise your business, just follow those 4 steps. But very importantly for your mindset, don't overthink it. Don't get too bogged down in logistics. Fuck logistics, as I like to say initially. Just start moving towards those first few steps, get some momentum, and figure out the logistics then as you go, and you'll be blown away. And it's a great source of revenue for your business. Our franchise is currently at 20,000 US, about 16,000 pounds for someone to buy one of our franchises. So it's a great source of revenue. We sold 8 last year, which is around 150,000 US in sales just for actually selling the franchises. Then we've got 8 cracking human beings to come on board and build a business with us as well. It's a brilliant way to build your business if it floats your boat. So if you want more training like this, make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on. I'll see you on another training video soon.